What's the weirdest compliment you've ever been given? In 7th grade, I wore a fanny pack to school to hold stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which I played with at lunch. Once while walking down the hallway, an 8th grader I never met before was like, "Dude, I like your fanny pack," gave me a high five, and kept walking. I never saw him again, and miraculously nobody ever picked on me about it, to my face at least. I had pink eye and the nurse was looking into the non-infected eye. "You have beautiful retinas. Thank you." That him like a piece of furniture. Don't do much, but you notice when I'm not there. A woman I was talking to in my dad's shop thought I was not me but my sister. When I tried to correct her that I'm me, she told me, "No, you are not. Insta my name is fat and has short hair. She is not beautiful like you." Like, WTF lady. My 4-year-old son told me I smelled like music. When I asked what kind of music, he said, "Your music you dance to, yeah." Still the best compliment I have received to date. Edit. Lots of people asking if he may have synesthesia. I thought that as well. However, he is 9 now, and we have had no other incidences. I asked him just now if he ever tastes shapes or hears numbers etc, and he looked at me like I had 7 heads. EUR. My friends and I were talking about what kind of potatoes we'd be. One of my best friends told me you'd be a loaded baked potato. People pay extra for that good shit. An old lady once told me she wishes she was 60 years younger, then she would give me some confidence. It was the most unsettling, funniest, and somehow most charming compliment you've ever received. That I've the most beautiful eyebrows, were even asking if I pluck them, or what routine I had. BTW. I'm a guy, but NGL. I felt fabulous days after. You are so tan. How did you get so tan? I'm Indian. Your eye look comfortable. Yeah. Not as in I looked relaxed. She meant I looked comfortable to rest, lean or lay on. At first I asked if she was politely saying I was fat. She explained that I had a look about me of being someone who would comfortable to cuddle with and not hog space or covers. I took it as a compliment. I hope it was. This was a stranger I was having a conversation with during the morning train commute maybe 3 years ago. Came from out of the blue, as well. The pizza who pierced my ears back in August told me my ears were perfect and to call her if anyone said otherwise, and she would fight them for me. A coworker once told me that I was a cross between Han Solo and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppets. This was in 1998, and I still can't stop thinking about it. Was that supposed to be a compliment? An insult? The worst part is that he was pretty accurate, actually. During an internal ultrasound I once got told I have beautiful fallopian tubes. Who've been riding that high for years. A teacher in high school told me several times that I had a perfectly shaped head. You look like you're good with your elbows. Said by a 50-plus-year-old man biking by. He then swung back around telling me I should try out for the local roller derby team. Someone told me my eyes were upside down. Not sure what that means, or if was even a compliment. They seemed friendly. With the right makeup you'd make a really good looking girl. I'm a guy. BTW. When I went to the doctor I juice they were training a nurse. They were about to draw my blood and the older one poked at my veins. She said I had nice bouncy veins, so they're easy to see and draw blood from. Wow, you're stronger than my dad. My GF. The first time I picked her up. Your eye remind me of us. 1 point. Yeah. Your ear freckles are so sexy. They remind me of my sister. Yeah. I work retail and was told this by a customer. You're so nice. You must have been bullied in high school. Edit. Because people asked. I was in fact bullied in high school. I'm in college now, and since it's online the only people bullying me is my family. Context: I'm a pretty skinny guy. No, you're very broad. Girls like that, they're gonna look at you and say now that is a jungle gym and I just want to climb all over. Random stranger while I was on a run. Jonas Nicker. I'm not saying I believe in vampires, but I made sure my windows were all locked that night. You'd look great in an off-shoulder dress. I'm a guy, but if I ever want to start wearing dresses, I know I'll choose off-shoulder ones. One evening about 12 years ago I was on a bus headed down to the financial district in Mick. I can yet remember why we were on a bus instead of taking the subway, as I rarely took buses over the subway. Anyway, there wasn't yet many people in the bus, and every passenger was able to sit in a seat. Directly across from where I was sitting was an elderly Asian woman. She sat there smiling at me for a couple minutes. I wasn't yet sure if she was smiling at me or just in my direction, so I just smiled back at her. When we reached her stop, she came up to me and said, "You are even more beautiful than Meryl Streep, you're." I was so flattered but also tickled. Meryl Streep is a good 35 years older than me. I never thought of her as a beautiful woman, but that didn't matter because someone did, and they thought I was beautiful too. "You look ominous," the mailman said to me while I sat on the curb reading Time magazine waiting outside my apartment for the mail to arrive. "You speak very good English." From a native English speaker to me, "I'm from Connecticut. I better speak English **WELL**. From a teacher, "You're like a barbed wire fence. Maybe something gets past you, but it leaves tattered pieces behind." I'm not very attentive, but somehow I managed to pick up info I need and use it appropriately. I went to my 25th high school reunion and a woman I knew then didn't recognize me. When I told her my name she said, "Oh my gosh, you're so handsome now." You know the definition of the word wholesome? You are my new definition for that. Something along those lines. Kinda of weird, but man did it feel good to get it. I couldn't stop smiling. I, an 18Y/O male at the time, was catcalled while walking up the street. The assailant screamed, "You have very good posture here." Lol. Edit. I had actually been involved in a pretty serious car wreck months prior and had been working on my posture with a physical therapist to address whiplash related pain. Gotta engage those abdominal muscles just under your belly. It was a crowd Australia Day celebration in the city. Shit was getting a bit out of control and everyone had way too much to drink. I tried to walk quietly by a bunch of fairly aggressive troublemakers without attracting attention. One of them shouts out, "Hey everyone, look at that guy. He looks awesome. I want my children to look like him." Fucking everyone stops and looks at me. Some people nod and go, "Yeah." Edit. Thanks for the awards, kind strangers. Some random cute girl in town told me I was a boomting while I was waiting at the bus stop after school. I assumed it was an insult at the time. It was only days later that I discovered that she was calling me hot. Semicolon. Edit. Thanks for the silver. That would definitely be the girl who said to me, "Uriah, you're not gross to look at point year." I married her best friend. Maybe not the weirdest, but definitely the one most out of left field. I was walking down the street minding my own business and this guy sitting on the corner looks at me and goes, "Everybody get a load of Antonio Banderas over here." How's it going, Antonio? Yo. I only maybe kinda looked like Antonio Banderas, but he is a handsome dude, so I always took it as a compliment. "Your eyes alone are worth 2,000 camels for your hand in marriage. Vacation to Egypt. You finally look like a human being." It happens every time I get a haircut, lol. Edit. Thanks for the awards. D also, it's nice to see that you finally look like a human as an universal saying, rather than just something I thought was from my country. I wonder what other sayings are like that. Nice nips. Cupcake. Uriah penis is harder than old chicken point year.